Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Good afternoon, one and all. Now I'm going to start my lecture of mechatronics. Okay. So in the previous class, we have gone through the typical hydraulic power systems. So how accumulator actually work and what are their intention and how the accumulator works, how it increases the pressure, how it reduces the pressures by the help of the bladder, which is filled with the gas. And gas is equipped with gas is equipped with the gas charging valve. So accordingly, if they wish to go for it, if they wish to discharge the gas from there, once the oil pressure is too far. Hopefully you all are familiar. Hopefully you all are familiar enough about the accumulators. I need not to repeat again. I'm in short. I'm going to repeat this. Okay, accumulator is a container where the oil, which is oil is filled under the pressure against an external forces, right? And which involves the gas within the bladder in the chamber. I already told you this is a gas bladder. This is a gas bladder which has been kept inside this inside the inside this container and how it works I already told you. If the oil pressure rises, let us suppose if oil pressure rises, it acts on it. If the oil pressure rises, then it acts on this gas bladder, and bladder will the contract. Bladder will contract, and due to the contraction of the bladder, the volume of the this bladder will become less, and due to the less volume, okay, due to the less volume, due to the less volume, okay, the volume come hota hai, so it can occupy means the oil can occupy the more space, so the pressure will be dropped, the pressure will be reduced. Okay, if the oil pressure falls, if the oil pressure goes down or oil pressure falls down, so in that case what, the bladder is having the opportunity to expand, and due to the expansion of that oil, it will falsify the available oil, falsify the available oil. Due to that, the volume occupied by the oil will be the less, and the pressure become high, and pressure increased. Okay, so I already told you. I did not to repeat again. So furthermore, I have discussed all those advantages associated with them, hydraulic system, and then disadvantages associated with the hydraulic systems. Okay, and I have discussed the hydraulic pump. I have discussed the hydraulic pumps. Okay, so I told you none of the machine, none of the pump is working 100% efficient. Okay, in actual practice they cannot give the typical efficiency of the pump. They may vary from the 90% to 98%. Okay, so I already told you the classification of the pumps. So I told you what are those. Hopefully you have remembered what are those basis of the classification. So there are the two broad classification of the pump, which has been identified by the fluid power industry, and those are, I think you people have studied in fluid system. That is the hydrodynamic or non-positive displacement pump. What I said, hydrodynamic and hydrodynamic or the non-positive displacement pump. And what are those pumps? Those pumps are the centrifugal pump and the propeller pump. Centrifugal pump and the propeller pump. I already told in the previous class about this. Okay, so this type of pumps is used for. I already told you where hydrostatic, where I told you the hydrodynamic or the non-positive displacement pump is. This kind of pump I already told you. This type of pumps are used in low pressure, high volume application. Where low pressure, just keep in the mind. This is very important. This is used for the low pressure, high volume flow application. This kind of pump, like what we are talking about, centrifugal pump, this is applicable for the low pressure, high volume flow application, right? And secondly, I told you the hydrostatic or positive displacement pump. Hydrostatic and the positive displacement pump. Okay, so this type of pump ejects fixed quantity of fluid. I already discussed in the previous class. They can only eject a fixed quantity of fluid per revolution of the pump shaft, right? So the pump outlet flow is constant and is not dependent on the system pressure. That is not dependent upon the system pressure, right? That will be not dependent on the system pressure. So these pumps are the well suited for the fluid power system, and these are, you are familiar with those. गियर पंप पता होगा आपको, जो पॉजिटिव डिस्प्लेसमेंट पंप लाइक गियर पंप वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, फैन पंप, पिस्टन पंप. I think so you gone through these pumps in the fluid system. So I will not spend much of the time. But in short, I must tell you, gear pump के बारे में आप लोग जानते होंगे. This is nothing but this is the two identical intermeshing of spur gear. तो स्पर गियर का इंटरमिक्सिंग होता है. ओके, टू आइडेंटिकल इंटरमिक्सिंग ऑफ स्पर गियर विथ इनवॉल्यूट टीथ. They are having the involute teeth profile and they are missing each other. One gear is keyed to the driving shaft. You are familiar. One gear is keyed to the driving shaft of the motor, and another gear is only revolving gear, and they will ideally revolve. Right. So these gear rotate in opposite direction. This gear rotate in the opposite direction. Right. This gear only rotates in the opposite direction in a closely fitted stationary housing. Right. Right. So just keep in the mind, that normally जो gear pump का हम यूज करते हैं, gear pumps are expected to work against a small head of few atmospheres, right? So the pumps and that are also one stage producing pressure up to the, I already told you, pressure up to the 100 atm. Okay. So you can tell this gear having the involute teeth profile, but in place of the involute tooth profile, spur gear, in place of spur gear, we can also use the helical gear too. Okay, and due to the use of helical gear, what advantage associated with that? They will provide the better grip over the width, over the gear width. Okay, and their running will be also smooth and uniform. They will run very smoothly, and the flow will be very uniform. Right. So I already told you. About the gear pump. So for the good functioning of the for good working of a gear pump, it is very necessary, or you can say it is mandatory, to have teeth made precise, and further they should be the hard surface. They should have the hard surface, right? They must have the hard surface. So आप लोग familiar होंगे, if you are finding out the actual discharge. So the formula, I think if you have not remembered, Q actual is equal to 2LATG into N by 60. If you have remembered that, you have studied already in fluid system. Okay, so what are those applications? Application कहाँ होता है, आपको बताइए. If you are familiar, what are the application of the gear pump? Gear pump का application सबसे पहले मैं आपको बता दूँ. हमेशा ध्यान रखिए गियर पंप का यूज कहाँ करते हैं. गियर पंप का जो हम लोग यूज करते हैं, जस्ट कीप इन द माइंड, देयर यूज इज लिमिटेड टू हाई डिस्चार्ज पंप. दिस इज ओनली यूज्ड where the high discharge is mandatory. Right. So if you are talking about the gear pump application, okay, so this type of pump is widely used for cooling water and pressure oil. Okay, and which is to be supplied for the lubrication of motor, turbine and machine tools. Just keep in the mind, this is the interview question. Many times it has been asked earlier. See what are the application of the gear pump. Just keep in the mind, gear pump का application जो होता है, so this kind of pump is widely used for cooling water and pressure oil, to be supplied for the lubrication. कहाँ supply करते हैं? Lubrication to the motors, turbines, machine, tools, etc. Right. So these are the application of the gear. Okay.
सर इसमें सेंट्रीफ्यूगल पंप के न्यूमेरिकल तो नहीं है ना?
नहीं न्यूमेरिकल नहीं पढ़ रहे. ये तो फ्लूइड सिस्टम में आप लोग पढ़े होंगे ना सारे. फ्लूइड सिस्टम में यू पीपल आर ऑलरेडी फेमिलियर विद दैट. एंड देन आफ्टर ऑल इसके बाद आपको आता है वेन पंप का. आप लोग पढ़े होंगे वेन पंप का. अगर पढ़े होंगे
yes,
तो उसमें क्या होता है? उसका सिलेंड्रिकल रोटर होता है, जो कि माउंटेड रहता है. कहाँ? इसेंट्रिकली माउंटेड रहता है. वो सर्कुलर नहीं होता है, इसेंट्रिक होता है. एक सिलेंड्रिकल रोटर होता है जो कि माउंटेड इसेंट्रिकली टू द सिलेंडर हाउस. सिलेंडर के हाउसिंग पे इसेंट्रिक शेप में माउंटेड रहता है, ये पढ़े होंगे आप लोग. सो आई विल नॉट पुट मच ऑफ द टाइम ऑन दिस. सो
सर बस इसका डायग्राम दिखा देना.
डायग्राम पढ़ना नहीं है, इसलिए डायग्राम इसमें पुट अप नहीं किया मैंने. ओके, फॉर योर
अच्छा.
मेमोरी बेस्ड आई एम टेलिंग यू. ओके, so just keep in the mind a single stage जो वेन पंप होते हैं, जितने वेन पंप की बात करेंगे, सिंगल स्टेज वेन पंप कैन बी डेवलप अबाउट 15 to 65 atm. जो उसका एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर होता है वो कितना के बीच में डेवलप किया गया, 15 से 65 के बीच. और क्यों? In order to get the higher pressure, more than one stage may be used. Let us suppose if you are unable to get it in one stage, एक स्टेज में, सिंगल स्टेज में जो हमें प्रेशर मिलता है, that pressure is the single stage में जो हमें प्रेशर मिलता है, that pressure is nearly 15 to 65. It is in the range of 15 to 65 atmospheric pressure, right? But let us suppose if you are looking for higher pressure than this, then what we have to use? We have to use one more stage, and that will be clubbed together. If you are looking for the higher pressure, then we must have to club with the one more stage, so that the pressure will be associated with them, together, and we will achieve whatever the pressure we are looking for. But in single stage, we just mind it. In a single stage vent pump, you can develop only the pressure up to the range of 15 to 65. So let us suppose if you are looking for 70 and more than 70 atm pressure, so in that case you have to club two stages together, so that the pressure will be summed up, and of course their value will be enhanced. Right? So if you are going to compare these three phenomena, and what are those three phenomena, I must tell you what are the aspect associated with gear pump, vane pump, and piston pump. So if you are talking to the displacement concern, right? If you are talking to the displacement concern, you have gear pump displacement is fixed, vane pump displacement must be variable, and in case of the piston pump, displacement must be variable, right? If you are talking about the cost, because this is very necessary, because the product should be the cost effective, right? You are familiar, I think. Okay, so any product of any engineering product should be the cost effective. So if you are looking for, it is one of the important aspects by which we should evaluate them. So if you are talking about the aspect of cost, then gear pump is very cheap. That's why it is very common to use. So their cost aspect is very low. Vane pump it is medium, and the piston pump it is high, right? And if you are talking about the pressure, because we are having the three parameters. What are those parameters? One is the displacement, another one is the cost, and another one is the next to that is the typical pressure. So if you are talking to the typical pressure, in case of the hydrostatic or positive displacement pump, so we will attain the gear pump. We will attain the pressure of gear pump is 140 MPa, megapascal, MPa. If you are talking about the vane pump, we are having the 270 MPa. But we have to use number of multiple stages in order to get the desired pressure. Because I already told you, in a single stage vane pump, we can develop only the pressure in the range of 15 atm to the 65 atm. In order to get those more than this pressure, so we must have to use some other mechanism. Multiple stages can be coupled together, so that we will get a good pressure, right? And lastly, if you're talking about the piston pump, so piston pump, out of these three, gear pump, vane pump, and the piston pump, we will get the maximum pressure in the case of the piston pump, right? 420 megapascal. आपको पिस्टन पंप आप लोगों को पढ़ा होगा, आप लोगों ने फ्लो सिस्टम में, राइट? सो
वेन पंप पढ़ा था.
अच्छा, पिस्टन पंप नहीं पढ़े आप लोग?
नहीं सर, याद नहीं आ रहा वो उसके बारे में. तो
एक पढ़े होंगे आप लोग, स्वैश प्लेट स्लॉट पढ़े हैं? स्वैश प्लेट
नो सर.
जिसमें वो मूव करता है. ओके, आई विल लेट यू नो लेटर. So regarding to the centrifugal pump, I already told you this pump uses rotational kinetic energy to deliver the fluid. Okay, and I already told you in the previous class the rotational energy typically comes from an engine or electric motor. That maybe comes from the engine or maybe come from the electric energy, right? Okay, so the fluid enter from this. See this cursor is visible to all of you. My cursor is visible to all of you. So, you know,
Yes,
this is
sir.
why it
Yes,
is
sir.
called
Yes, sir.
centrifugal. The fluid enters from the sump. The fluid enters from the sump to the pump. So this is the inlet of the pipe. This is the inlet of the pipe. Okay, so the fluid enter the pump impeller along or the near to the rotating axis. Okay, and accelerate in this will accelerate in the propeller. यहाँ से ये इनलेट होता है, प्रोपेलर को हिट करता है और ये क्या करता है, इसको एक्सेलरेट करता है. मींस जिस प्रेशर में यहाँ से फ्लूइड आता है उसको क्या करता है, it can accelerate in the propeller and flung out into the periphery by the centrifugal force. Okay, so in this diagram you will see this is a centrifugal pump actually. Okay, so in centrifugal force the delivery is not constant. It varies according to the outlet pressure. So okay, these pumps are not suitable for high pressure application and are generally used for the low pressure high volume flow application. I already said you about the hydrodynamic or the non-positive displacement pump. This is only good for what? This is only good for low pressure high volume flow application. So it is not good for so that it is not good for the high pressure application, right? So the maximum pressure capacity is limited to 20 to 30 bars, and a specific speed range which will vary from 500 to 10,000. So most of the centrifugal pumps are self-priming. Most of the centrifugal pumps are not self-priming, and pump cages need to be filled with the liquid before pump is started. If you have seen the pump which is used in the pond, you know, have you seen? Anybody have seen? If you are using the same pump, that is centrifugal pump in diesel engine, if you are using to using to drop the water from pond to other places. Okay, pond से अगर other places पे हमें पानी को भेजना है तो हम वहाँ क्या लगाते हैं, डीजल सेट लगाते हैं, डीजल इंजन लगाते हैं और उसमें जो पंप यूज करते हैं वो कौन सा पंप यूज करते हैं, उसमें सेंट्रीफ्यूगल पंप यूज करते हैं. और but what are the drawback of the centrifugal pump? Because it is not self-priming pump. Okay, so for accelerate them, for start them, we need to fill the whole caging of the pump along with the cow dung, paste of cow dung, not paste, the semi-fluid liquid of cow dung and the water. It must be filled with that, and then we can start. Then only we can start, right? So if we will start without putting those self-priming medium, so it cannot pump the water, it cannot pump the liquid from the pond. Okay, so you know why it is called centrifugal? Because if it takes the water from the sump, so through the inlet pipe it will go towards the center. But what is centrifugal? Centrifugal means what? Away from the center. तो ये सेंटर की तरफ तो आता है, उसके एक्सिस की तरफ तो आता है, बट ये क्या करता है, एक्सिस से अपने से दूर फेंकता है पानी को इंपेलर में टकरा करके, और क्या होता है, अपने से दूर फेंकता है, और दूर फेंकने के चलते उसकी क्या होती है, वेलोसिटी एक्सेलरेट हो जाती है. ओके, वो रोटेटिंग एक्सिस से एक्सेलरेट हो जाता है प्रोपेलर में, एंड देन due to the discharge from due to the extract from impeller at various angles. Okay, it is having a good pressure, and that pressure we absorb into the outlet pipe. Okay, so just keep in the mind what are the drawback. Centrifugal pump are not self-priming, and the pump casings need to be filled with the liquid before the pump is going to be started. But nowadays, once you are fitted the machine, and without doing the priming, self-priming, without doing anything, self-priming will take place, and that will suck the water from the sump to the other equipment, other tank or other places, right? Now, if you are talking about reciprocating or positive displacement pump. So if you see this diagram, this is the diagram of the 4-stroke engine, right? This is the same diagram that if you have gone through IC engine, if you have gone through the 4-stroke engine, so this diagram is similar to that 4-stroke engine. Okay, and their process and their operations is similar to the 4-stroke engine, in any internal combustion engine, 4-stroke in any internal combustion engine. So the reciprocating pump is concerned with the positive plunger pump. The reciprocating pump is the positive plunger pump, and it is also known as the positive displacement pump. This is what this is known as the positive displacement pump, right? So it is often used where relatively a small quantity is handled. Just keep in the mind where we must use, where we need to use them. We must use them where the small, relatively small quantity is to be handled. Okay, बहुत ज़्यादा पानी नहीं हो, जहाँ बहुत ज़्यादा quantity के ऊपर work नहीं करना हो, and the delivery pressure is quite large. Of course, they will deliver at the large pressure. That's why it is called positive displacement pump, right? So this comes under the category of this comes under the category I already discussed. This comes under the category of the hydrostatic or positive, उसी को कहते हैं hydrostatic को ही बोलते हैं positive displacement pump. So the construction of this pump is very similar to the 4-stroke engine that you are familiar to see this diagram. Okay, so the crank is driven by, this is what the crank is driven by. So this crank, who is the prime mover? So the crank is driven by some external rotating motor, maybe the electrical motor. Okay, and the piston of the pump, this is the piston, the piston of the pump. You see, this is the piston cylinder assembly. If it will move, it will rotate. If the crank will rotate at 360 degree, so accordingly, this will be the reciprocate. This will be reciprocate ups and downs. This piston will be the reciprocates ups and down, and they are having the two valves. This one is the inlet valve, and this one is the outlet valve. Right. So the working of this is coincide with the working of the 4-stroke diesel engine, right? So just keep in the mind that crank is driven by some external rotating motor like the electric motor, and the piston of the pump rotates due to the crank rotation. Piston क्यों rotate कर रहा है? जैसे crank rotate कर रहा है, इसके proportionate piston ups and down reciprocate कर रहा है. So the piston moves down in one half of the rotation. When the piston moves down in one half of the rotation, the piston down होगा. यहाँ जैसे मान लो piston up हुआ, तो ये क्या होगा? When the piston goes, when the crank goes up, so piston goes up. When the crank goes down, piston will comes down, right? So the piston moves down in one half of the crank rotation. तो उसमें क्या होगा? The inlet valve, this valve will open. This inlet valve will open, and the fluid enter into the cylinder. Through this, fluid enter into the cylinder. In second half, when the crank rotation, the piston moves up. Crank rotation moves up. Outlet valve will open. This is the outlet valve. This is the outlet valve. So जब ये crank up जाएगा, so let us suppose if this apparatus will goes up, so in that case outlet valve is open, and the fluid moves from the outlet. Fluid moves from the outlet valve. Fluid moves from this outlet valve. So at a time only one valve is open and another valve is closed. So at a time one valve is open and another valve is closed, right? So that there is no fluid leakage, so that there will be no any fluid leakage can be occur. And depending on the area of the cylinder, the pump delivers the constant volume of the fluid in each cycle. So this is independent of the pressure of the output port. This is only associated with the area of the cylinder. The discharge is proportionate to and the quantity of fluid discharge from the outlet in. It depends only on what? It depends only on volume of the cylinder. Depends only on the volume of the cylinder. This is independent of the pressure of the output port. This is not associated with the pressure of the output port. So this is all about the reciprocating positive displacement pump. Okay. So now this is the end of the story. So I'm starting rest of the aspects in the new slide. So the new topic I will cover. Okay. So thank you all of you. Okay. Again I will rejoin with the new slides. Okay, and new classes, right?